Hey you guys, it's me Kiana coming at you today, and I'm coming at you with the rest of the recipe that I'm giving you, which is a superb Parmesan encrusted fish with a wonderful lemon dill butter sauce. So you can use this for any cut of fish, whatever's on sale or whatever that you like and you prefer. And this is a great low carb recipe as well. And as you know, I am on low carb. If you want to see how I fix my side dish, which is this wonderful bacon, garlic, and onion sauteed cal greens, then you definitely need to go check out the video right before this. It is delicious, you guys. I promise you that. I'm just simply using for my fish, I'm going to use these fillets, which are boneless and skinless. And of course, you're getting a great source of protein. This is going to be a very flavorful dish. And I'm going to fix it live in front of you guys. I'm going to tell you the ingredients that you're going to need, and I'll tell you that in a second. These are actually individually packed, which are great for portion control, you guys. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, or that's something that you're actively doing in your own life, I actually suggest that you lean towards things that are like this, portion controlled. As far as calories, if you're interested, first of all, it has 0 carbs. And as far as calories, it's as far as calories, it's only 70 calories per package. So that's great, you guys. That then becomes low cal and low carb. Of course, adding what we're going to add, you want to be mindful of. If you're worried about calories, you want to be mindful of just adding a little. It's not about excluding it all out of your life. It's about basically balancing it out, making sure that your sides have a little less calories, and or skipping a side or just adding some veggies. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding some of my veggies. Now this is the fish. What you want to do is you want to season this fish, and we'll do that in a second. I'm going to tell you what you're going to need for this dish. Okay, obviously you're going to need some Parmesan cheese. So we're going to use some Parmesan cheese, some Old Bay. You know, I buy my seasonings big because I am actually a cook. And I actually can cook. You're going to need some black pepper. You're going to need some salt. My low carbers out there know what I'm talking about. Heavy whipping cream. You're just going to need a little teeny bit. You're going to need 2 eggs. And we're going to mix that, the 2 eggs and the heavy whipping cream, together in a bowl. That's going to act as like our glue, so to speak, you guys. Alright? You're going to also need some French's fried onion. And if you're not worrying about carbs and you're just worrying about calories, you can add a little bit of these Japanese breadcrumbs if you like. As for me, I'm skipping that because, again, I am worrying about my carbs. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We've already added our egg, and we've already added a little bit of that whipping cream. In a bowl, we're going to add French onions. Of course, I got mine with couponing. Long time ago. Probably got about 20 of them at one time. That's the beauty of having a stockpile and couponing. Well, we're going to put some of those in a bowl, like so. If you're talking about the carb intake, you guys, for a portion like this, you're looking at about 4 carbs. And being that we're going to do 2 pieces of fish, we don't have no carbs with the fish. It's no carbs with the Parmesan cheese. Yes, that's why I said you need to research it, because when people see us using, us meaning low carbers, when they're ignorant to the facts and the science behind low carb, you know, they see us putting Parmesan cheese and things like that on our foods, they don't understand that. They make it obvious that they don't understand and lack knowledge about low carb, because there is no carbs in Parmesan cheese. None whatsoever. Okay, so we're going to add the fish is 0 carbs. This French's fried onions are about 4 carbs, so that's 2 carbs each piece of fish. The Parmesan cheese has no carbs, so you're not eating any carbs. The whipping cream has 1 carb, so that's nothing, and then the egg has less than 1. So this is why this can be a low carb dish, and it is a low carb dish, you guys. So in this French's fried onion, and the French's fried onion, we're going to crunch that up. That's going to act as our little crust, you guys. All right. And this is a great trick to use instead of using any breading, because it's going to give us that crunch, and it's going to aid us with the coating, but you're not going to be using any flour based items or any bread. And that's how you want to crunch it up. Okay, then after we do that, we're going to add our Parmesan cheese to that. You can add whatever amount that you like, you guys. As for me, I just probably used a capful. I'm just going to toss that all together, you guys. And it'll look like that. Any balls that you have of Parmesan cheese, just crush that up. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and season that fish. Now, Old Bay is definitely a Merlin thing. But, you know, it's sold everywhere, and it's great for poultry and seafood. You're not going to really need any salt. You can use salt, but Old Bay has it in there. And this is one of the things that we use in Merlin, being that we specialize in seafood to add life to the seafood. I'm going to use a little bit of pepper. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of oil in my pan, you guys. Give me 1 second. You're not going to need much, you guys, and this fish literally will be so quick as far as cooking time. All right, so what are we going to do now? Okay, so the fish is already done as far as seasoned, and we're going to go ahead and soak that into our egg and cream mixture. Like so. All right. We have our little crumbs, which are the coating for us. We're going to move this out the way. The pan is already a little hot. we're going to begin to add a little bit of our oil. Now this pan already has a good amount of seasoning. Why? Because this is the pan that we used to make our greens. So it already has a little bit of that bacon and garlic flavor, which is always a good thing. And we want to let that get a little hot, because what we're going to do is we're going to actually sear this fish. Now you can season both sides of the fish, but I do not, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes seasoning will take away from the actual great flavor of the fish. So that we don't do that, and if we decide to add a little bit of extra seasonings at the end or on our plate, it won't be over seasoned. You'll give the people the option of having a little bit more salt or a little bit more pepper or whatever. And I always opt for pepper because I am a pepper lover. So this basically allows you to let the person, you have the dish full of flavor, but it's not overpowered by seasoning. So it allows you to, the person that you're serving, to adjust their seasoning to their palate. Alright, so that should be hot enough, you guys. And what we're going to do is take those crumbs, we're going to take a piece of that fish and dredge it in the crumbs. And you want to press it when you're doing it. Press it. Alright? And we're going to leave this side faced up, and you'll see me do that. Like so. Alright. We're going to let that go ahead and cook, and as you can see, the side that doesn't have the mixture on it is on the downside. So we're going to go ahead and let that continue to cook. That's going to cook, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more of our crumb mixture. We're going to make that while that fish is being prepared. And if anybody wants to know why I actually put it face down first and the crumb side on facing up, the reason why I do that is because the presentation is going to be the crumb side up. So we want it to be cooked, but we don't want it to be overcooked on that side. So we're going to leave that as the last cooking method, or the last step in fixing this dish, rather than having that side down and then it having to be in there cooking even longer while it's cooking on the other side, if you're understanding what I'm saying. I added a little bit more of those French fried onions, and now I'm adding a little bit more of the Parmesan. And while that's cooking, let me get my spatula. While that's cooking, I'm just doing my coating for the next piece of fish. This is a very simple recipe, you guys, but it is delicious, I promise you. And again, you will impress whoever you fix this for. So think of this for date night. You don't have to always go out on date night. You know, somebody, the person, the significant other that you're cooking for will, trust me, be even more impressed with you doing this versus doing a reservation. That crumb mixture is already waiting for coating of the other piece of fish. And again, the purpose of the egg as well as the whipping cream. First of all, the whipping cream adds a little bit more what else? What's the word? Richness. It adds a little bit more richness, but it acts as a glue as well with the egg. So it doesn't take long to really fix, you guys. We're going to go ahead and flip this onto the other side because you don't want to overcook your fish. Alright, so you're going to ease it up, slide it back, and then flip, like so. And as you can see, that is a perfect piece of sauteed fish. We're going to saute it on the other side, which is the crumb side, and I call it crumb. But it's really Parmesan cheese and French's fried onion. And then we're going to have our side dish, which is the kale greens with garlic and onion and bacon. And this will be a wonderful low carb dish. You know, often at times when we do low carb, because as you know, I've been on low carb previously for 6 months, and I lost a lot of weight on it. And often when you are on low carb long enough, you sometimes get bored. Sometimes you get tired of bacon and eggs and sausage and eggs and, you know, all those kinds of dishes like that, pork chops and stuff like that. Sometimes you get tired of it. And I am being able to show you guys that you still can eat great whether you've been 2 months on it, 2 weeks on it, or 2 years on it. It's just all about knowing the carb count of a lot of different things, thinking outside the box, pairing some things with other things that you normally wouldn't maybe think of. It's also about getting out of the mindset of thinking about just calories and using that as a focus. And that takes time because we're often taught that calories are what makes us fat. And that's the main and only thing. So I hope I'm able to give you some recipes, you guys. Not only am I giving you recipes now, but I've always done this. I've always given you recipes. So you can go back like maybe about 8 months to a year, and you'll find a lot of low carb recipes then too. Use those recipes. Tweak them to the way that you like them. And you'll see that you can not only eat great on low carb, but being able to have different dishes makes you be able to sustain and be on it and stick to it even longer. So, our fish is basically done, you guys. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side, sliding it all the way up, sliding it back, and flipping. And that is our Parmesan onion, French's fried onion, and crusted fish. So I hope you like it, you guys. I'm going to have this with my delicious and that is it, you guys. So on the previous video, if you saw my plating, because you know sometimes I show you the plating first, you'll see that this is what I fixed and how I fixed it. And as far as the lemon butter dill sauce, you could put that on top. And the carb count of this, you guys, for this sauce, if you use 2 tablespoons, you're looking at 2 grams of carbs. Have fun, you guys. Think outside the box. You could sprinkle some of that on top. Just spoon it over and you're done. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. I love you all so much. And be blessed.